Now is the time for our story for all ages, and I invite you to come forward, get a little closer to the action if you like. It's going to be fun action today. Today, we are building a cabin together with Henry. This story is based on the book Henry Builds a House. And it starts out on one fine morning when Henry decides to himself, you know what? I think I'm gonna build myself a cabin. And so the first thing that he does is he decides to draw out the plan. And he draws and he sketches, and you could draw and sketch with me if you wanted. He draws and sketches out a plan, and when he gets it just perfect, he decides to go and borrow an axe from his friend Emerson. And Emerson gives him an axe, and Henry tromps out into the woods, and he finds 12 trees, and he chops them down. So together we're going to chop down 12 trees, right? Are you ready? Chop, 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 chop. I'm already getting tired. Henry got really tired, and his friend Lydia came and brought him some lemonade to quench his thirst and to help him feel a little better. Together, Henry and Emerson and Lydia put up the sides of the cabin. They notched the wood and made square beams. And I'm not sure how you notch wood to make square beams, but I'm sure that there's some sort of action like this involved. They planed the wood. Yep, they planed it flat. And they notched it together, and then, they worked hard, and they put the beams up, and they put the ceiling beams on. And they stood back and looked at it, and Lydia said, you know, Henry, this house looks too small to eat in. Where are you going to eat? And Henry says, oh, I've got that figured out. And he took Lydia and Emerson out back and showed them the bean patch. And back in the bean patch, there they sat, and they saw the little tiny sprouts growing. He said, this will be my dining room. The work wasn't done yet, though. So several days later, Emerson and Henry went out and took down the shed of their good friend Alcott. And Alcott said, what are you going to do with all that extra wood? And Henry said, these will be the floors and the ceiling and the roof of my new cabin. And so Alcott and Henry and Emerson, they carried the wood over to Henry's new cabin, and they started nailing on the boards. Can you guys nail on the boards with me? They started nailing on the boards. Oh, and already I'm feeling tired. So they went to the dining room, and they ate some beans out of the garden. And they got the floors and the walls and the ceiling on, and Alcott said, you know, Henry, this place looks too dark to read in. And Henry said, oh, that's all right. Let me take you to my library. And he took Alcott out to the side of the cabin, and there was a beautiful sunny patch of sunlight, perfect for reading books in. This will be my library, said Henry. But the cabin wasn't done yet. Henry went to town and he bought shingles, and he used those shingles to shingle the whole cabin. So again, he and Alcott got out there and they started hammering together, working together to build this cabin, and they got so tired. But Emerson and Lydia had brought a snack, and they all sat outside and they ate that snack together. And they looked back at the cabin, and Lydia said, you know, Henry, this cabin is so small. Where are we going to dance? And he said, oh, let me take you to my ballroom. And so he took her out front on the garden path, and he said, look at all this beautiful space. This is my ballroom, and these are the sloping ballroom stairs. And together they danced outside. It was quite lovely. On the very last day that Henry was building his cabin, he put in some windows that he had saved from the shed, and he put the final finishing touches on. And as he was nailing in the last nail of his window, it started to rain outside. And Henry looked at his friends and said, we better get inside. This cabin is the room that we wear when it starts to rain. Thank you very, very much. We are all here together for Labor of Love today, and I am so excited to be with you all, my friends, and helping put this church together for the coming year. Thank you. And I'm going to invite the children to head back to the seats, find your parents, or find a space to sit together, because after service, we're all going to work together. All right.
Am I right that there's going to be child care during the Labor of Love time?
There will be some child care.
Up until what time?
Well, I think we're here till 1.
So there will be child care available for those of you who want to stay and be part of the Labor of Love. It is offered until 1 o'clock. So I'd like to ask the Reverend Kimberly Wooten, who this congregation ordained, to come forward. This is her last official Sunday with you all. It is a time when you release her from her ministry to each of you and welcome her as a member of the community. And you say to her, "A job well done, faithful servant." You have been faithful to your call, and now your call is going to take you elsewhere. But as far as you travel, you will remain with the hearts of this community. And as a brief token of my appreciation for your welcome of me, this scarf sort of stole that has chalice and a lot of the words from our principles on it. Wear it when you will.
It's purple. It'll be all the time.
Let's get you straight, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Enjoy it. Thank you for your ministry. Thank you for your graciousness in welcoming and helping me transition here.
And we're going to have a goodbye responsive reading. Like Reverend Lowe said, I'm transitioning here, so I would like to offer with you these words of farewell. So they should be behind us. Okay. Are they there? Okay. Spirit of life's journeys, we gather here to celebrate the goodness of our community and ask your blessing as we continue on the road of life. May the love that is in our hearts be a bond that teaches us forever, wherever we may be. May the power of your presence bless this moment of our transition. Let us pause for a quiet, reflection, remembering the gifts that we have shared over the last 3 years. We know the love of this community blesses you. May the blessing of light be on you. Light without and light within. May the blessing of the sunshine shine on you like a great campfire, so that strangers and friends may come and warm themselves at it.
May light shine out of your eyes, like a candle set in the window of a house, bidding the wanderer come in out of the storm. May the blessing of the rain be on you. May it beat upon your spirit and wash it fair and clean, and leave there a shining pool where the blue of heaven shines, and sometimes a star, so that you can light the way for others.
May the blessing of the earth be on you, soft under your feet as you pass along the roads, soft under you as you lie out on it, at the end of days, and may it rest easy over you when at last you lie out under it.
May the blessing of air blow you to all opportunities to share your gifts. Though you may be near, our hearts are ready to share you on the winds of change. May you relieve the suffering of others lightly, like a summer breeze.
And now, may the spirit of transition bless you as we move, change, and grow to new depths and new understandings, kindnesses, and love. I bless you kindly for the opportunity to be your minister. And as I take off my mantle of this responsibility, I know that Reverend Lois, who takes up her mantle as your minister, will do well. All will be well, and for life is about change, and we here will learn from its changing. Blessed be and amen. And now we are going to take up an offering of this church. I know that your labors are generous, and I know that you are generous with your money, your talent, and your time.